when bin Laden was writing these documents, ISIS was actually Al-Qaeda in Iraq, and bin Laden was critical of Al-Qaeda in Iraq for all the Muslim casualties that the group had incurred. But yes, this is a very different vision than what we see with ISIS. Bin Laden said, you know, we're not ready to create an Islamic State, whether it's in Yemen or in Algeria or any other Muslim country. We really need to keep focusing on the United States. And he was, you know, he was writing a lot of this, Carol, in the run-up to the 10th anniversary of 9/11, and he was, you know, urging his team to really be creative and think about ways to attack the West, to recruit the right people, to finance the operation, to attack particularly American targets. And of course, none of that happened. He was killed 3 months before the 10th anniversary of 9/11.
The other kind of strange thing, and I was just perusing these documents quickly, he talked about climate change and the need for conserving water.
Yeah. It's, so some of these documents read like he's a World Bank official concerned about food security and climate change and conserving groundwater. You know, a guy, he obviously had other interests other than terrorism in his family. And the other interesting thing, Carol, is that along with all these documents and memos and letters, is we have a full account of what was in bin Laden's digital library. And you know, he was an avid reader. He read English. He was reading everything from Bob Woodward's book, The Obama's War, to Noam Chomsky. He took great interest in what Western think tanks and academic institutions were saying about Al-Qaeda. He had, you know, many reports from outfits like West Point's Combating Terrorism Center or the RAND Corporation. And also, you know, he had reports by leading counterterrorism experts in the United States like Bruce Hoffman, Paul Pillar. So he really was trying to see what the enemy in, you know, the United States was, how they were analyzing Al-Qaeda, how they saw him. And the other takeaway from the documents is this is a group that saw itself very much under siege, was very concerned about the CIA drone strikes, was very concerned about operational security, was urging, you know, one of bin Laden's aides said, you know, you really need to learn how to encrypt your documents. And, you know, they were very conscious that they were running out of money. So this is probably the, you know, the most rich and complex portrait we're going to have of what was really going on in Al-Qaeda around the time bin Laden died, and the way that he saw the world, the way that he was dealing with his family, the way that he was dealing with his immediate organization, and also dealing with Al-Qaeda's affiliates around the Muslim world.